Hi you and welcome to some Minecraft. I'm back on the server today. Excuse my voice here. I just realized I'm creaking and cracking along like an old wonky floor, but I've been fighting off a flu or something for a couple of days. Not still feeling a little meh. Totally teed off because I've taken some time off to write, as I've told you a lot of you, and I've been sick ever since. Not real bad. I'm getting some stuff done, but surely not at the high level of awe and excitement that I was hoping to have. So still a little low key here this afternoon. But I'm back on the Minecraft server. I'm going to be showing you a couple of things. One of them, I'm going to come back over here and putz around with some building things in a while. Crazy Fun Dragon made a comment recently about, I think, being new to the game and, just some ideas for building or whatever. And I mentioned that, well, maybe I could do something like that. And then I got a few private messages from other people saying, oh, yeah, that would be great. Now, I'm no hotshot builder, okay? I will plug away at things until it starts to look okay, but yeah, there's just an awful lot that I really don't know that much about yet. I'm learning from the guys on my server all the time because, oh my god, they are so amazing. But I'm going to come back to that one because I am a little fuzzy in the brain and I need some wake up time first here with the recording. And I'm going to head over, and I'm not turning that way on purpose because I want to show you a project that I have been working on, oh boy, since April, actually. I believe I had a recording very early days when I was just sort of blocking out the foundation and trying to figure out where the rooms would be. And this tower, that's not it. I got to get rid of that. I have to pull that down and build something proper here. But at any rate, when I was doing the stud farm, and I was working on what I was calling the summer palace across the street, or across the stream from that. Um, and I had put in the blocks, and people had said, "Oh, you're wasting resources." And yeah, I know, but it really helps me because I'm not a hotshot builder. Okay, so now one thing I want to show you, I'm calling this Endermen Station. I don't know if I've showed you that before or not, but that takes me to Queen's Cross, the portal station, and these are all other places that are in Leckley, my little bit of a kingdom, and I will be. I haven't actually put those portals in yet, but I will be using them because I do travel around a lot. So when you come out of the portal station, of course, oh, looky there. There's something to see. Oh my gosh. There's Enderman Keep. And there's the Summer Palace. Now, I will have a road continuing off into there. There's going to be a little bit of a village built in here. Nothing real big and fancy, just enough to keep to have servants available for the Summer Palace and keep the keep working properly. Keep the keep, yeah. So, lamppost, like in that one. And there's the bridge. Now, I built these trees because I wanted like an avenue sort of feeling. Now, not everything over here is finished just yet. It's close, but not quite yet. If I get down and look around, you'll see that, like the bridge underneath, there's no arches. This thing is sort of defying gravity at the moment. It's, yeah. So there is the Summer Palace. Now, I've tried to create something that would be interesting from all sides, and I think I did pretty well with that. I like this end. You can see the big tower there in the back. I'm going to run across the stream. Actually, no. I'm going to get into creative mode here so I can show you around a little faster. I'm liking this. I'm liking this place a lot. I think, I said there's bits and pieces of it I'm seeing that aren't done. See, the bridge there is being held up by Quill 18's magic, of course, because, oh my goodness, nothing else would keep that up at this point. But there's from this side. Now, there will be a road over here that connects to Whitehall, the main city. I'm about halfway there now. I haven't been back to working on the roads in a while, but look what it's going to be like when you're coming from the capital, and you're heading south to Leckley. This is going to be, you know, you're going to see the spotted horses of Leckley in the pasture over here, and then you're going to see that. I think we'll make a decent first impression. I think so. I'm liking this. Like I said, it's not, you know, everything I want it to be just yet, and you know, you're always seeing things that are, yeah, this and yeah, that, and oh, I did too much there, not enough there, blah, blah, blah. There's my, the cactus and the sheep here with apparently a pig for all that green wool up there. And then if you're around this side, so when you're coming from the road that will be from over there across the desert, you'll see there is another tower sitting up here. And this, the little aviary thing, absolutely, I am redoing that. I don't like it at all. It's terrible. I have learned some things about working with glass, absolutely, but it's gross. So this, it's starting to look like a place now, and then I've got the little portal station there, and with the keep, you know, across the river there, and then the stud farm on the other side, and the hill up here. As you can see, I've got something in mind for sitting up there, so we'll get to that another day. But and here's the back, which is a little bit lacking so far, but you know, it's coming along. So I'm going to head to the front door, get back down on the ground, and show you guys around, because this is a big place. Yeah, it's a big place, all right. So I'm going to get down here and get back into sane mode, because I find when I'm in actually in a building or trying to build, I just don't fly well enough for creative to be all that much fun. I just, you know, you got to put a block down and you drift past it, and it just, I'd rather be down here taking in the view as I travel around. So this is where, you know, you come up in the first place. This is what you'll see when you arrive on site. And a sword, I think, would be, you know what, let's just, let's get rid of these things so I can have an empty hand, so I don't have things in your face here. So this is what you see when you get here. A little courtyard, you know, you can stroll around. Of course, the phone's going to ring, and you know what? Hang on one second. Sorry about that. Furious. Sorry about that interruption. I was expecting a call earlier, of course, that didn't come in, but as soon as you're recording. So here's a courtyard where you can walk around and smell the flowers, and you know, see the keep over there. Like I said, there will be a village in between here in a while. The Royal Stud Farm is over there, and there will be sort of a private path from the back to go across the river over here. So, you know, we can go over and check out the livestock whenever we need to. Yeah, I'm liking this place. This is, I've had this white palace in my head from, boy, almost my first week in this game, and I really didn't know what it was going to look like. And this has changed. It's changed a fair bit, but for me, surprisingly little. From all those original blocks I put down, it's pretty close. It really is pretty close. So we're going to come back over here. Now we have two entrances. That is the public entrance, and that is the private quarters entrance. So first of all, let's go check out the public place. You know, you get here, and there's the flag, the striped flag of Leckley, of course, and we're going to go in here. Now, you know, the palace at Whitehall is gorgeous. It's wonderful. It's lovely, but it's also really big. It's big. It's very formal, and there's like thrones and things like that. And you know, they call me Queen Ava in here, but I'm never really comfortable with it. So this would be more, you know, my style of ruling. You know, we can come up here. We've got the lions, and we've got the right colors. We just kind of, you know, we don't sit around and chat, right? We don't need big thrones here. This is the summer palace. We're a little, you know, this is for laid back and easy. And yeah, it's okay. Now if it's cold, it doesn't get cold here too often. I don't know if you remember over in Enderman Keep, back at the Bray Tower, it absolutely snows like all the time. So yeah, not so great. But here it's pretty warm most of the time. But on a cool evening, we can sit here around the fire and just, have a good proper chat there. Now, if it's anything military or official, any kind of strategy strategies that need to be planned. Okay, we can just take all our military people and keep trotting along in here. Just a little room. Oh, I'll show you what's out back in a minute. And we'll go up this way and up this way. And we have some things going on here. We've got, see, this is, you can tell where all the military stuff is here. We've got a collection of swords and things like that, which are kind of cool. Big tapestry here of some sort of fight or hunt or, something with weapons, right? And here's sort of the headquarters. This is where the planning gets done. This is a table whose the idea of which I got from Spongy. We've got a river running through right there, and different kinds of landscape, and the generals and soldiers can all stand around and point to things, and maybe they can move their little toys and pretend they're being macho and awesome. So this is just a planning room. Nice and simple. And of course, the view over here are those fine spotted horses of Leckley that apparently have all kinds of sheep, pigs, and cows moving into my paddocks. So I need to go over there and do some housework. And this looks out over the courtyard, and there's the keep. I'm liking the views. It's always about the view with me. I want to see cool stuff. Now up here, I haven't done anything with this yet. It's just an attic. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen here. Maybe servants' quarters, or the entourage of visiting people, or maybe I'll make this into like the quarters for the head of the military or something like that, summer residence. But we can come out to the top of the sort of throne room here, and we've got this area. And again, I'll be doing something with this, not a clue what, just a nice outdoor space. Or maybe I'll put in a rooftop garden here, because I love rooftop gardens. So we're not done yet, but we're getting better. So just an attic. So over here we can just go out to a little balcony. If you just need a breath of fresh air, and all those brains are working so hard trying to keep the country safe, so they can just come out here and take a breath of fresh air. And again, the view's kind of pretty. They can see whoever's, if the ladies are taking a stroll down here, and courtiers, those sorts of things. All right. Okay, so we're going to head back down. Now, the ladder's there just to reach the books on top. If we go out this side door, we come into this little covered area here that was at the side of the palace. And in the back, favorite place for me. Now, around the time I was building the stud farm there across the river. I need to name this river. But I had found when I was putting down the foundation for this place, which there is a recording of somewhere way back when. I think it was back in April, maybe. It was a long time I've been working on this building. But I had found a little tiger cub spawned one day, and I fed it and tamed it and put a little pen around it. And then the next time I was here putting up my very first wall or something, there was another one in the exact same place. So I tamed it as well. And now I finally created them a proper enclosure. And you see we've got sort of a gate here, but you just want to walk up here. This is a viewing stand. You can look through and see my pair of tigers. Aren't they just awesome? I love this. They're so cute. Now sometimes they're over there behind the trees, so you can walk over to this side and view them from here when that happens. Yay, Mo creatures. This is just lovely. I like it. And then, just sit here and have a little quiet place and watch them someday or whatever. It's always about the gardens and things with me, in case somehow you've missed that. So we'll close this up. Castles. I gotta try to maybe rebuild all those castles one day, right? So this is the formal-ish public, come in to visit, that sort of thing. There's a picture of Balmoral I took last time I was there. And that one, for those of you who don't know, was taken by my daughter when her and I and Briarstone actually went to London for Will and Kate's wedding. We were there that morning. That is Essentia's photo. I made it into a tapestry because, come on, that's pretty cool, right? Now, we've got this tower over here, which, again, haven't done much with this. This will be, maybe Quill 18's, the sorcerer's chamber or something. Just a whole lot of stairs. I think there's only 2 or 3 floors in here. I made them pretty tall. There's a floor here. There's another one way up there. Probably won't. There's one more. And then we can go up to the last one, which is a long way up, which comes into the open air. And again, gotta check out the view, right? I like it. This game is utterly amazing to me in terms of how space seems to change. Right over there to the, when I face it, it fades out. But over there to the left where the jungle is, the very first house built in here by Briarstone and I is over there, the one called Cat House. Really early in, we just kind of built little tiny rooms kind of going up and down through a mountain. And the first time that I headed north from there, I had done a lot of exploring south. The first time I came north, you're running, you're bringing your food, you're looking around a little bit, and then you realize the sun's going down because it's only 10 minutes. You're going, oh my God. So that tower, right, there in the center that I said, can you see that? Yeah, that I said I would be taking down later. That was actually a place I spent the first night out wandering here in the north. And then I came up further, and there used to be a tower sitting right in here that I took down not too long ago. Or was it? Yeah, actually there was one here. And then there was another one over here on the other, like just where the road takes a bend. And those were places where I spent the night. So you're looking at 10 minutes of exploration to get there, 10 minutes of exploration to get this far, another 10 through here to get there, full of trees, which of course I cut down, replanted, cut down, replanted a few times to build Enderman Keep. But, it was such a scary place because the monsters were coming out and all these things were shooting at you. And now when you actually start to build, it's all right here. When you get roads up, you can just run. I can run from the cat house right up through here, all the way past, much further than this, to where my village idiots were. It's like, this is just a spot now that I'm building in. And at one time it took me days of travel to get through here. It's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Things seem so big, and then you start doing something with them. And there's some others. I put that tower up, that tower up. Now I was putting up a lot of them because I was using them to judge distance or like what direction to go in. I would go between one and the other, and I was trying to get in my head where it was from the cat house up to the village. And it took some doing, clearing way and putting some things in and realizing that you'd gone all crooked around rivers and trying to get it all straightened up. I know this area well now, but for a while it was a little tricky. So we have another balcony. Come out and have a look. We can see into that tower over there. You can see there's some sort of little patio there, looking down over the big roof, flat roof over the throne room. I like to be like the outdoors to always be available, right? That's makes me happy. And it's a long way down. Oh my goodness, no kidding. Okay, so I have to do something with this, turn that into something awesome, but don't know what yet. So from here, Which way to go? There's always choices. Okay, well, one thing I missed. In this room, there is a little back stairway right there, which goes down to the servants' quarters in the basement. And we'll get to that from another way in a moment. I am just going to, you know what? I'm going to go in this way. So that's the public entrance. Now, if you have a private invitation, you might get invited into this door. Or, you know, if you're like a relative or friend who's coming to stay for the summer. And this is what you see when you walk in here. That's our main entrance hall. And let me close that. And no, we don't have the mobs on tonight, but, you know, it's a good habit to get into. So that is our just, you know, not too fancy. It's just the summer house. So we'll look at that. But first of all, I want to show you this over here because you can come out here. And here is a little private, you know, yard of sorts. Up here, there's one of my little birds. I'd have the sound down or you'd be hearing him chipper and chirper. And again, there's the view from here. There's a tower we're going to go check out in a minute. Oh, careful. And if you come through here, you're back in, I guess, what do you call it? The reception room. The throne room. I don't like that. It's the reception room. So there we go. So if you do come in here and then you get invited for lunch, you might just take a stroll right through the little yard here. Nice little walled garden that you can hang out in. Now, if you have something really important and secret to discuss, here's what happens. Checking on something. Okay. You can come into this tower, and it's the only thing in here. You can close the door. No servants can wander by and eavesdrop. Enemies can't overhear private conversations and plans. And you can sit here by the fire or just put your feet up, read a book. It's all good. I like it. Own private little hidey hole, tucked away from everything else in the castle. So let's go back in here. If we were coming over from the main reception area to lunch, this is what we would see when we come in this way. It's just a little quiet study here. You could sit back and have a chat. Maybe, you know, this is where we keep some of the records for the house or something. I don't know. And if we were going to lunch, you'd be coming through this way. And there's a big central fireplace. Now there are, you know, just a little place to sit here, have some tea, have a chat, whatever. Or you can go around here into the main dining area. Big fireplace in the middle. Now this section back here, again, a very small staircase. You know, some storage, some utensils, things like that. This is where the servants come up for the kitchen, and this is what they would use, of course, this area to serve the meal. So they'll be coming up from down there, and we'll go check out that in a little bit. And they would be serving us our meal right here. Now, if you were staying over, we'd be heading upstairs. So we would come up here. There's that, which we'll look at in a moment. And we'd be coming up the stairs here. And there are a couple of floors, obviously. Just, again, a little seating area for this particular floor. And this is my room. Oh, yeah. So, nice big canopy bed. I like that. Colors of the country, of course, because, of course. Nice fireplace. Place to sit and play cards, write letters. We didn't have the internet yet. How terrible is that, right? The old cabinet there and this one, you know, antiques, obviously, because the finish is a little rough, right? Go with me here. See, we even have little pillows on the bed. I like it. This goes out to a little private balcony, and that looks down into the aviary, which I am going to tear down and change. But you can't sit here and read a book. And if it's raining, you can just watch it rain. This stays dry, no problem. Or just open it up and listen to the bird song in the morning. Although they do occasionally fly in. So, yeah, gotta be careful with that. And then here's just a little guest room. Nothing too fancy. It's just called the Red Room, I guess. Looks out over the courtyard and the keep, though, so they have a great view. I love it. And then on to, oh, missed a spot. And then if they want to step outside, well, looky here, we have butterflies. And it's just a little teeny tiny courtyard. You can sit, play cards, have tea in the morning, lounge and fall asleep, or check and see who's coming. Yeah, there's always lots of those in things that I'm building that are for me. And then up this floor. And this one, well, it's just, again, just so you can step outside and get a breath of fresh air. And it goes, that door over there, it's just the same little piece of balcony. Nothing fancy. Just a step out and stroll if you decide to. Another little guest room here. And I tend to do the same thing in this game that I do in real life. I just head for the windows. I want to see. This is a fancier guest room, maybe for, visiting dignitaries. We call it the silk room. You will notice the silk walls. Yeah, nice. The silk quilted bed. It's a watermelon. But in this texture pack, doesn't it look awesome? I love it. It does. It looks like a silk covered wall. I think it's so fun. And you can look outside if you want to. Now, this newfangled stuff called plumbing. We have, tried to drag ourselves into the whatever century this would be. But it's not available everywhere out here in the wilderness just yet. But we do have this section here. Now, if you go in here, yeah, we have indoor plumbing. Now, in this case, that probably means that servants, haul in the water from cisterns up on the roof, which we'll get to. This probably just goes out a hole and down the side of the castle and into the stream, because yeah, that's the way we did things, of course, back then. But at least you can do it indoors. If it is snowing or raining, you don't have to go outside. And because, it's a relatively big place, we have a couple of these. Now, if you actually want to bathe properly, we do have this room. Nice little spa area. You can get up and do a nice soak in here. We got some candles, little containers. That would be all the soaps and oils and things, obviously. Some lovely little herbs. You can just snip it off and put it in your water if you want to scent things, because that would be cool, right? So you can just sit here and have a nice bath. And because the servants have got to do all the carrying for this water, we're going to just trot up to the servants' quarters on this level. We have some in the basement and some in the attic. There is a lot of storage up here and down there. This is what I'll be using what I use to store things in as I gather resources, or as I was. Not so much anymore because I've used up everything in this place. But so this is sort of a common room, and they've got, they've got their little rooms here. Some of them are married, some of them are just, men who are sharing a room, or, maids, housemaids or whatever that share a room. Hello. Try again. Is there a problem with this door? It was arguing. Okay, fine. Another little room here under the stairs, just like Harry Potter, with two single beds in that. Now upstairs here, Another little seating area, a somewhat bigger room for maybe a married couple or whatever. Lots of storage. You know, the servants get to deal with all the towels and the sheets and the things that have to be stored to run a place this big. They have a seating area with a nice view. And here is their little kitchen. They can eat over here. Another little seating area. They have plumbing. And they've got a little tiny place out back where they can have a sit if they want. The cook is growing a few fresh herbs up here, things that need lots of sun. There are some cisterns that are collecting rainwater. Now, of course, we do have the stream. I'm going to build a well somewhere. I haven't done that part yet. But, you know, it never hurts to have. If you're ever under siege or something, we could collect rainwater. And rainwater's good for the ladies' hair. So, yeah. So this is the attic on this side and the servants' quarters here. The bathing area and the guest rooms that are up on this floor. Now back down. That's my room. Down this way we go into the aviary, which has nothing in it yet because I'm rebuilding it, but yeah, that's got to change. Kind of sucks. So this will be full of birds. Right now all we have is a fly. Charming. I'm growing flies. Oh well. This thing is awesome when it rains. It's so fun. And there's the little private balcony up there. Close the door and the... Okay, so let's go down the servant quarters because there's a few things down there that are kind of fun. So of course the kitchen has to be close because they're bringing it directly up into the dining room. The food's got to be hot, so duh. So there's some, you know, cold boxes. You know, you just put ice in the bottom. You go get ice from the other side of the Bray Tower in Endermen Keep, and you haul the ice over and you put it in the bottom of these boxes, and then you cover it in sawdust, and then you put food on top, and it'll keep it cold for ages. It's very cool. And there's some fire, and there's a big fireplace here, so we could just, you know, roast a pig, or if that's ever required. Oh, the door over here, and I put these down. I got them out of Creative. I don't even know what they do yet, but they were black and different, and I wanted to use them, so I'll figure that out some other time. But if you come out here, of course, this is the cook's domain. Okay, so she's got a little, you know, a little bit of a garden going on here that she can just grab some food easy. Again, you know, a little water barrel so you can water things as you need to. She likes to cook, or she likes to fish. So she can sit here and fish, her own little spot in the world. Go down into the dock if she wants to take a swim or fish off that side. You know, fresh fish is good for dinner, so that her fishing is a good thing, obviously. Another little patch of garden here. Oh, these are starting to grow up nicely. And you can walk up this way. Just a quiet little spot with a big old tree. That thing is so nice. And just a little place to sit in the shade, take a rest after all those feasts that she has to cook all summer long. So that's rice. It grows in water. The sugarcane, of course, has to grow beside water, and those are cranberries. They like to grow in the water as well. So she keeps this stuff handy. It just makes it easy, you know, just to walk out the kitchen and grab something nice and fresh if you need it. I think these things out. I play this whole game in my head while I'm building. So this area through here, you know, this is a lot of extra chopping could be done. This is what I think of as the bakery. So on this big table, they'd be rolling out bread, you know, pounding it into shape, braiding cool things, making pies, that sort of thing. You know, here's some ovens for baking. They do have, you know, a little like toilet and sink there for Well, it's a hike from here to the toilets upstairs. And actually, I didn't realize it till after I was done all of this, but the servants have got much, much better plumbing than the fancy people upstairs do. Let me tell you. Wait till you see. Oh my God, who left that open? Briarstone was here yesterday. That's who left that open. I never leave this open because this goes straight down into hell. This is, you get down here, and this I found after I had put in the foundation for the palace. I didn't even know this was here. I was going around trying to fill up holes and things like that, and found this one that just went on and on and on. As you can see, it goes on for a long ways. But if you get down here, we've got, oh, and I'll never remember how to get back up. That would be a problem. There's, oh, here we go. There's not only a mine down here, there's like a dungeon, a fortress. I don't know what you call it, but it goes on forever. You can just see some iron back there. I get lost in here. This thing is huge. So now that the palace, or when the palace is done, now that it's close, I'll be doing something cool down in here at some point, turning it into a really, really creepy place for bad people. So yeah, I found this after that's the first one I've ever seen. I'm sure they must be all over in this game, and I have found lots of mines like this, but I'd never found one of these. I don't even know what to call it. I'm calling it a dungeon, a fortress, whatever it is called. That's the only one whoops, where am I going here? That's the only one I've ever seen. And it's right under my palace. I thought that was so awesome. I got very excited. Yay. And I've put in the stairs because when I run out of stairs, I can't ever find my way out. But there's so much down there that I have not explored, not touched, not done. I actually will probably have like 2 sets of doors because this place really creeps me out. And when the mobs are turned back on, no, it's horrible. Doors should never be left open. So the servants have got a lovely little den of their own to sit around here. Very nice. Lots of books. We believe in having them all literate and educated. You betcha. So here's a little room. Again, maybe for a couple of housemaids or, a couple of the kids, boys that are, tending the garden or something like that. I don't know what you call them, but see, so they've got toilets here. Privies. Indoor privies. You betcha. This one's for guys. This is as close as I was going to get to a couple of urinals, I guess. So maybe that's a guy and a girl one or something. I don't know. However, it's not really all that important because you will see that most of these people have their own. You got a bed and you can just get up and take care of things as you need to. The queen of the castle doesn't have that, but the servants do. Almost all of them. So tub there, toilet there. There again, I thought, okay, this one doesn't, so that's why there are some, public ones, but most of them, and I guess maybe it depends on seniority or their position in the house or something like that. I don't know. Tub there, privy there, big bed. This must have been some guy that, he came from another country and he was hired with both his wives. That's why he got the big bed. This one's a lot nicer. Again, a big bed here. This one actually has a fireplace. So he can put a pot of something there and have tea in his room. Pretty cool, right? And this one's got an actual private little bath or a little toilet. But not a bathtub. So, there's different kinds of luxuries and you get what you get. Now, this little staircase up here, this is the back way up to this area where we started out. The whole military section that's beside the throne room here. In a place this big, you can't have one single solitary stairway to get back and forth because that's insane. Now we do have one bigger suite here, and again, this might be, a military person or a more, maybe the housekeeper and the butler, yeah, the main housekeeper and butler or something. They like separate beds. I don't know, or maybe it's a door. I don't know. It's just a nicer room than a lot of them. Big table there for whatever. Totally private bath, really nice. Lots of room, lots of storage. It goes out back, and we'll look at that better in a moment. Excuse me. I feel like I'm about to lose my voice here, which is not good because I'm playing Walking Dead next. And then out the back door, we have lots of storage for food. Lots of things here, trash bins, whatever. And then a proper kitchen garden back here with lots and lots of goodies. Now there is going to be a vineyard somewhere. There's going to be wheat fields somewhere else. You know, I've still got a farming section to put in this world somewhere, an agricultural area, I guess. And that goes just into caves. This one actually comes out way up top over there someplace. I don't remember. This little stairway will take you around the tiger's cage. So you can come out over here if you need to. Lots of ways to wander around. I need names. I haven't named them yet. And like I said, there will be a little private bridge across here to get to the stud farm. Maybe it'll come out from this little courtyard area here, perhaps. I don't know. So, there we are. The summer palace. Not quite done, but really, really close. And I am loving this place. This one was fun. It's been a long haul. In the last 3 weeks, I have worked a few hours a day at least on this. I missed, I think, 4 days in the last 3 weeks where I've not been working on this, and I have been in here 4 or 5 hour stretches on my days off, like the entire afternoon, half the evening. It's been insane. This has been the biggest thing I have personally done in this game, obviously. And yeah. No, most of it was not done with creative. There were bits and pieces, I suppose, sometimes, but not a lot of it. I don't do well, especially with roofs and stuff. With creative, you know, you're trying to go along. I just get irritated. So this was just mostly done the hard way, which is easier for me. And it took a long time, but it's come along nice. And of course you make mistakes and you change things, stuff happens, and, you know. But it's pretty close to what I was hoping it would be. I'm happy with this one. And there's another, oh yeah, another little walkway down here. You can just tuck down underneath the bridge here. And I had to put this in this morning because I was over here. I'd come out of the kitchen, or I was doing some things at this end, and someone else asked me for some supplies, and I mean, I can turn on creative and go over there at any point, but I realized that if I was actually trying to walk, I have to go through here, upstairs, through the whole palace, out the front courtyard, and around. Oh my God, it'll have to hike so far. I'll need to bring a lunch to get anywhere. So I put in this little walkway along here, and yeah, in this, so we could actually get up here from down there should we be required. It was a long hike. So there we are, the summer palace. So I'll be doing another recording, just showing some really basic building stuff, nothing fancy, because I mean, you know, it looks pretty good now, but there really isn't anything up there that's very fancy. I'm not a builder, you know, like Spongy or Arquise, who's kind of incredible too, or Impact Creator. We've got so many really, really, really wonderful builders on here, and I've got to give you a tour of some of their places soon. But I'd like to have them on the server to do that, and we'll get to them. So next recording, maybe I'll start doing some more of those. So in the meantime, whoops, where are we here? You know, live your life happy, build it beautiful, because yay, it's a lot more fun than building it ugly, right? And it makes for good views. It just does. I like this place. I'm happy with it. Ooh, looks good in the storm too. So there you are. Please hit like, hit subscribe if you haven't. Leave your comments. I always love getting them, and I'll be answering a lot of stuff tomorrow. So I look forward to talking to you then. Live your life happy. Build it beautiful. Play Minecraft. God. Bye-bye.